It is the Homemade Broadcast, episode 544. My name is Will Kuncz. This is Anna Hummel.
Hey!
Hummel, sorry.
Whatever.
Sometimes I like to just say your name in a fun way.
Bouge it up.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I forgot something.
Oh, wait. Before you do that, I want to just bring something up here. It was a hotly contested competition between two formidable foes. And sometimes you got to ask yourself, what were you thinking? And I want to ask you first before you do that.
Okay.
Why didn't Todd Bowles go for 2 in that Monday night game versus the Chiefs?
Because the cornerback suffered an MCL injury when he was doing the Roots.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when they
do
the Roots.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was a movie from the 70s.
Okay.
I don't know anything about sports. I feel like I am incapable of learning anything about football, despite the fact that it's probably been explained to me 40 times.
Yeah.
Because I'm so disinterested and uninterested that it can't stick.
Yeah. Well, I was asking you as a joke.
Yeah.
Because obviously
who won?
The Bucs lost. They lost. They almost won. They brought it into overtime, and then when it got into overtime, Patrick Mahomes
brought it home.
Brought it home. Yeah, exactly. That's good. Yeah, it's all right. But obviously the contested competition with two formidable foes that I'm speaking about is the presidential election of 2024. Anna is full tilt now, all up in it.
It's time I came out of the closet. I am. I was gonna say, I don't know if we can really say that on Radio St. Pete. I'll just say I'm not a liberal. I'm an independent voter.
Okay. Yeah,
but I voted a specific type of way.
Do you have a party affiliation?
No,
I don't either. On my voting. I voted all over the board since I was 18 years old, and I've sat out many elections.
Yes,
including the last one.
What? You mean this?
The
last
one before
okay.
This past one.
I heard you pulled an audible like that.
I pulled,
and you voted, which you said you weren't entirely sure that you were going to. Vote in this election. We won't talk about why you did that.
Well, we can talk about it. Sure, why not?
Okay.
Why not? But yes, obviously Anna's person one, as you can tell. She's adorned with a red hat right now, if you're listening audio only, which is probably weird for Radio St. Pete listeners in particular. Listen, I picked Kamala. I thought Kamala was going to win. I really did. But I was shocked to wake up. You know, this is Wednesday. By the way, this is the 6th of November. If you're listening on Radio St. Pete, obviously this has already happened. And you can join us live, by the way, at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays on willsyoutube.com and Rumble and Facebook, HMB Radio on Facebook. And then you can get this program and the uncensored half an hour. So we do an hour in total. Podcast listeners and Radio St. Pete listeners only get the more tame, although your admission here wearing the red hat might be pretty spicy for a lot of people.
I mean, Pinellas went red, but certainly not St. Pete.
Yeah. No.
I listen, I go to where the studio is every now and again. And, I keep my politics close to the chest, but I'm assuming that most people in that building do not listen to this program, or at least I hope they don't. And so I feel that I'm a little bit more able to freely express myself. And just to let people know that the people among you don't all think the same. It seems to be the case. Like, I'm very much aware that people around me may not agree with me, and I'm totally okay with that. But it seems like when I'm in their territory, they're being, the blues.
Yeah.
That they just kind of assume if you don't talk like this, and you're like a nice, cordial, civil person, they're like, there's just no way she's a Republican or a Trump supporter.
Well, they don't know any. That's the crazy thing. That's because they don't
know of.
Right.
We're hiding amongst you.
That's true. That is true. You're right.
So, not everyone thinks like you, and that is okay. I think that's okay. And here's the thing, and the core difference between I think the way that red feels about blue and blue feels about red is like, I think that the blues are just in my opinion, of course, they're worried about the wrong stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're focused on things that, sure, maybe down the line when things are much better for the country, we could maybe kind of suss out those little, details. But the main problems that need to be addressed aren't being addressed by the Democratic Party. It seems like they are making those big problems worse and worrying about the tiny little who's coming into what bathroom, are the men playing in the sports and the transfer. That is like tangential stuff that we can get to when we're not on the fringe of World War III.
Well, that's the thing, and that's
how
not,
I feel.
That's not what Democratic politicians are worried about. They're worried about sending money to
the war machine.
The war machine.
Yeah.
That's what.
So that's how I feel, and I feel like myself, and I'll speak for you. We're nuanced people. I may vote certain ways on some things, and more liberal on other things, but overall, I think that Trump was, the only candidate that to me, that was the obvious choice that we couldn't vote for the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy with the results. And finishing the thought, I may feel like blue is uninformed or, misinformed or worried about the wrong things, where I think that blue feels about red that we're evil, like we're bad people. And we don't like that too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think a lot of people rebelled against it this time.
Clearly.
Dudes showed up this election. I think dudes were a little sick of it. White ladies are number one freaking out the most, but also catching
52% of them voted for Trump.
Catching all the blame too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about, why not white dudes?
I think everybody they're already to blame. Everybody knows that.
Okay, so this is just the next frontier.
It's just like white dudes are obviously the most bad of the baddies.
Sure.
In some people's
in the hierarchy of those,
but white ladies are right there, and white ladies could pull them over the edge.
Yeah.
But instead,
because we didn't vote for our own. We didn't vote for another woman.
Yeah.
We didn't vote against the patriarchy. So therefore we're pushing the patriarchy. A
lot of internal misogyny is a term that I heard a lot.
Internal misogyny. That's a new one I haven't heard. So I'm misogynistic against my own.
Yes. Because you didn't vote for the blue lady.
It's a shame.
It is crazy. So dude showed up, and boy, it was a trouncing. I honestly, here's what I thought was going to happen. I thought, I was watching it last night. I had a few adult beverages.
No S.
I was checking.
You don't need an election to do that.
I was checking the map, and I was going, this is crazy. I didn't think it was gonna go like this. But I assumed that I would wake up in the morning and they would find some votes, a few boxes, a dozen boxes in the back. And all of a sudden it would be like a big dip upwards. Well, what's that? A big rise in the tally for the blue lady. And then, she won Pennsylvania. And then the other one's Wisconsin.
Kind of like what happened with Biden last time.
Kind of like what happened with Biden last
where
time.
We went to bed thinking Trump was going to win and woke up with an unlikely surprise.
Yes, that's right. And I saw a vote tally from the past few elections, and let's see, Obama got like 65 million. Then Joe Biden got or Hillary got about 60 million, 62 million. Biden got 80 million, 81 million. Kamala got about 63 million. So there's a big drop off there, and people who just for some reason
stayed home,
didn't show up this time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of winking and nodding. I got to be careful about what you say on YouTube.
Yeah.
But 80 million votes is a lot.
Yeah.
The most ever.
Yeah.
During COVID.
I think I'm reading between the lines. It sounds like you're suggesting.
Nope, I'm not suggesting anything.
Hinting.
Nope. I'm just saying
that maybe things aren't as they seem.
Maybe things were not as they seemed during that time.
Tense. Perhaps.
So I don't, and I kind of assumed that things wouldn't be what they seemed this time. I already heard broadcasters last night talking about the mirage, and could this be a mirage, a red mirage in Georgia and in Pennsylvania, and meaning that leaving the door open to, well, maybe you're going to find some votes or something, and this lead will dwindle, and then actually dwindled to not leading anymore. I just assumed that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened this time. I don't know what the difference was, but it really doesn't matter. For whatever reason, it went the way it went. And it's hard to believe.
You sound relieved.
I'm not
you
really.
Sound a little bit happy.
I don't know. I go back and forth between being black pilled and white pilled on this subject.
Go black every time.
Yeah, well, black pilled means that you're just totally like we're doomed, and I still it doesn't. I don't know if one person's gonna change that if we're doomed or not, but I was just shocked to see the news this morning that he was, because they said it was going to be weeks and it was going to take a long time to count the votes,
but it took a few hours.
Took a few hours.
It was a sweep.
It was annihilation. So you got the GOP retain the presidency, the Senate, the House, and they have the Supreme Court. I mean, this is it is people's worst. Like, I feel bad. I feel bad for the ladies melting down on Instagram.
What about the dudes? What about
a few dudes
for Harris?
White dudes for Harris. Yeah, I saw a few dudes melting down as well, which is
you need help. We're good. You should be okay.
It's gonna be all right.
I mean, we were fine last time. I voted for Trump last time, and it was like, all right, I guess Biden won, whatever the case is. He's the president. We'll be all right. We'll figure it out. And then, we weren't, but
got pretty bad.
Yeah, it got pretty bad. But to the people out there, you're gonna be just fine. And know that unless we enter World War III or you get drafted or something like that,
some people are going to be fine. Some people, aside from the ones that are going to be loaded onto the trains and sent to the detention camps, they may not be all right.
Well, kidding. Yeah, obviously. But here's the thing, and this is like a Andrew Huberman quote, or he was talking about something, but like your experience, and this is why I go to the Buddhist temple, your experience, everything is internal. Like when you're really happy and you get crazy endorphins for whatever reason, that's all endogenous. That's all inside of you. And every time you get really sad about something, it's like no one is injecting sadness into you. You're doing it to yourself because of your perceived, situation, whatever. So everything is internal, the good, the bad. And I just think that's a good reminder where it's like on some level, you're choosing to be really upset about something. And so just know that you can change your outlook and you don't have to be that sad. And listen, if you take an L, and I imagine it's kind of like a similar feeling to sports where a team loses and it sucks.
Yeah.
You're down a little bit. But I feel like at least with sports, you're sad because your team lost, but you don't then become like nihilistic and feel like your civil rights are going to be taken away. Whereas a lot of people feel that way. And I weirdly feel sorry for them that they think that is a threat because that is what they've been fed. Thank you, Pillow Pants.
Pillow. He says, let's see,
Biden
voted. Sure voted Trump. Yeah.
Yeah. He probably did. He's like, F you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pillow Pants.
So where does that leave us now? Do you think that he's gonna, just because he won, do you think that he'll take office on January 20th?
He doesn't get killed, I assume that's what's going to happen.
But you got now, the election's done. Kamala gave her concession speech.
Yeah, we just watched
She confirmed the peaceful transfer of power. She said that she will assist the new administration coming in, getting caught up to speed, and, the fight will go on. Which
you got to say that. I mean, what are you going to say? We lost the such by.
She wants to be president, and it sounds like she'll be back.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So do you think that he's gonna? Because now it's like, okay, so if something should happen to him, let's just say, obviously,
what do you mean Trump?
Yeah, you got JD Vance there.
Something should happen to him. What do you mean?
Something should happen where he's not able to take office.
Thank you, Mike from St. Pete.
Oh, Mike. Oh my gosh, thank you. He says, "Hey, Will, love the hat." I think he meant love the hat there, Anna. Shouts out to the other Anna, Paulina Luna, and America First Patriots, us here. Here is to a prosperous next few years. Sorry, reading out loud. That's tough. Yeah, I hope so, Mike. I hope so. And thank you for that. That's very generous of you. Appreciate that.
You said something should happen to him.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying?
Like Another attempt?
So, yeah, something like that. Or, he's old. He's not a spring chicken either. I mean,
the man can go, boy. I'm
but
doing 4 rallies a day. I'm like, is this guy gonna drop dead? Because all he eats is like McDonald's and Coke. But which is hilarious because RFK Jr.'s right on his shoulder, like saying "Make America Healthy," and this guy's just like downing French fries. Which God bless him. Whatever, I don't care. But I don't know. I have no idea. I hope they kind of tighten up security because I feel like there's going to be only more of that because they've tried everything and it's like, and then he wins. And then it's, it's going to be scary, but what a life. And I was kind of telling you this, but I was going over to my friend Aaron's house yesterday evening to drink wine, paint our nails, and eat donuts, which is like the perfect girls' night. And I got a little carried away with the wine and ended up passing out probably about 10:45. Like I got so drunk, dude. Like,
how many glasses of wine for you to get like hammered?
Well, here's the thing. I hadn't eaten anything in a few hours, so there was that.
Except the donut.
2, I don't drink often. I ate the donut after I was drunk. 2, I don't drink often. And 3, I was really tired because I woke up at 5:30 yesterday. So just those things combined. So honestly, after the first glass of wine, which was a hefty glass, I was there, almost there. So I probably had about 3 glasses of wine. And I was like, and then we had champagne before it was only like half of the states had been called. And I was just like, we won. And then I just knocked out.
Wow.
So, and then we woke up, all the donuts were gone. I think the dog ate a couple. Like it was bad. We were messy, but it was fun.
That's nice.
Yeah. So it was a really, really like awesome girls' night. We were just like yelling at while watching Fox News, getting drunk, eating baked brie. Like, who are we?
Yeah. I didn't watch it with anybody. My partner is certainly not a Trump fan and really not a Republican.
Not a Will fan either, apparently.
Yeah. It's been a tough day.
It's okay.
Hey, I get
everyone has tough days. But what I was saying before was on my way to her house, I was like looking at the beautiful sunlit sky as the sun was going down. And I thought to myself, if this man comes back and wins, what a cherry on top of like a legendary life. Because I was telling Will, it's like this guy had an amazing life before he even stepped foot into politics. Like real estate mogul, entertainer. Like the Apprentice was like wildly successful for like they had like what 2012 season, something like that. Like, very popular show. A billionaire, just playboy, had his own plane, and then becomes president. Then COVID, then a crazy hullabaloo. Then gets booted out, then tries to come back, and everyone's like sick of him. I remember like a year ago, I was like, I'm sick of hearing about Trump and Jan 6, and they stole it. I was tired of hearing about it. And then the DOJ kicks in, and then all the convictions and the felonies and the this and the that, and he just brought people back, and he wins a political comeback like none other. I'm like, we were
talking like him not being able to participate, and like being barred from participating. Not too long ago.
Yeah.
And then he comes back and not only wins, but dominates.
The 34 felonies thing with the what was it? The bookkeeping error that happened to be 34 felonies was only a few months ago.
Yeah.
Wild.
And he's still due to be sentenced too.
2 assassination attempts. Insane. And then gets shot in the head.
In the ear.
Wins. It's just absolutely insane.
It is. Thank you, Garrett.
Thank you.
I think that's what a lot of people are worried about, Garrett. This is what I don't understand.
Did
he said MAGA indefinitely. Us. Well, I don't know if that means
US?
US maybe, or us. But either way, I think that's what a lot of people are. That's why I'm very sympathetic, going back to what you were saying about people's feelings, because I think that those feelings and thoughts are totally misguided. I don't understand those.
Like why you have those feelings.
That's what is any indication that that's going to happen.
Well, when you're told something over and over again for 9 years, you believe it. I mean, not everyone, but
I'm sympathetic to that. I am. I wish I could understand. I've had it explained that that he's a fascist and that and I'm go, well, like what? What? Like how? What's going on? And it's
if you don't know, I don't have time to explain it to you.
It's either that or the examples that they give are like, well, he says he's going to be a dictator. Well, How is he going to do that? What's the plan? Oh, Project 2025. What is that? Oh, I mean, there's a lot of bad stuff in it. I haven't read it. I don't really know what that thing. I know Trump has, disavowed that project. It sounds like a slimming down of the bureaucracy, though. In departments, government departments. I know that's one of the things. I go, that sounds all right. What's wrong with that?
Well,
I don't understand.
I think it's more than just that.
It must be, but I don't.
Seems pretty comprehensive, but Trump has said, like, I don't know what this is. I didn't write this thing. It's not my thing. All that sort of stuff. So
yeah,
who knows? And it's just like a blueprint. Like it's not anything. It's not like a real document that's like, this is our manifesto.
But this is where you're talking about democracy, right? That's what's at stake here. So we need to have a permanent bureaucracy, administrative bureaucracy with government jobs that people are in place for decades that make decisions about your day-to-day life and how to.
So you're too stupid to govern
that's
yourself.
What I mean. Like, aren't we pro-democ? Like, I don't understand. Why do we need a permanent administrative state to tell us what to do? We didn't have a Department of Education, for example, until like the 60s, I think.
I mean, what do they do?
It just centralizes power to kind of give the.
Like, is it just funding to schools, or like,
I don't know. It's setting the curriculum and, telling children, programming children, I guess you could argue, but I don't know. I mean, but like stuff like that, I'm like, good. Why do we need that? I feel like a smaller government would be a good thing, not a bad thing, but that's my personal opinion too. And I'm sure other people are saying, no, that's insane. You need a big government. But I don't know. I am, like I said, I'm pretty, I feel for those people out there. But I hope everything's going to be okay. You're not going to get put in
feelings are wrong is what he's trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad that they feel bad. And I'm just like, but they're told that, every feeling is valid and everything. And it's okay to be upset in your mental health. And it seems like they just wanted Kamala to win because it would be better for their mental health.
Yeah. Well, it's nicer.
It's nicer.
Decency. That's what I've been.
We're nice to the things that we need to be nice, but you're actually not. You're actually not the good guys.
None of them are decent. That's the thing. All these politicians, none of them are decent. Joe Biden's decent. And I think a lot of people will go, yeah, of course, because they watch a certain news outlet. I mean, he seems pretty corrupt. And by the way, Hunter Biden is getting a pardon now, too.
Is he?
100. I will put, if I can bet money on that somehow.
I mean, you haven't like read that, but you're speculating.
Oh,
I agree, because he's just gonna be like, I'll put it behind us. Like, let's just move forward.
Well, he said he wasn't initially, but now that the other guy's coming back, he's for sure getting a pardon. Of course he is. It's only living son. I will be shocked.
Oh, you mean like Biden will pardon his son?
Yes.
Okay, got you on the way out. Yeah, I thought you meant Trump. I was like, wait, what?
No,
yeah, absolutely. You got to. You got to do it for the fam.
Yeah,
I probably do the same thing.
And the Doug Emhoff stuff with that totally got the media blackout, with eyewitnesses saw him smacking around his old girlfriend at a party, which is wild. So that's why you could just, looking at that guy, you could just go, wow, that's a hell of an accusation there. There's just a lot of, like, they're all like demons, most of them. Not saying that the other guy isn't. I think in some ways he is. I think he's more honest about his things
Trump?
that he has done. Yeah.
I mean,
but the hyperbole behind that too, when I go, well, he's he's treasonous, and you just go, okay, well, why wasn't he charged with treason then?
Yeah.
Like, they, for some reason, decided not to do that because they couldn't prove that, and they didn't want to bother with that, because when he got found not guilty, that would be even a worse look for them.
Yeah.
So they didn't do that. So, okay, so that's your opinion. Oh, he's a rapist. That's another one I hear. I mean, I know he got found guilty in a civil suit for that in New York.
Well, they're assuming because he settled that he's guilty.
Well, no, I think he lost. I think he lost the case. He didn't settle.
Oh, I thought he settled.
I think he
$5
lost
million
the case.
and just like get
No,
it
I think it was like $100 million. He's got to pay that lady.
No, it was like $5 million.
Are you, okay,
I'm pretty sure.
That's still a lot of money.
Not to Trump, but yeah, I mean, it's not nothing. So it's not small potatoes to me, but probably
But there
probably to
is
him.
such a thing as lawfare, where you punish your enemies through the
Yeah.
courts. You can do that.
Mm-hmm.
They're worried about, oh, he's going to prosecute his opponents. He's got a
Has he done
million,
that?
like,
No.
this is exactly
He
what's
fires them, but he doesn't prosecute them.
he said.
He didn't put Hillary Clinton in jail.
Yeah, he said he was gonna put Hillary in jail that first time, but then he said, it's not good for the country. We'll just move on. Okay. That's what Obama said, he was going to do that too. And then when he took power from the Bushes, he goes, it's not good for the country. Let's just move on. But this guy, they were like, no, we're gonna nail him.
Yeah.
We're gonna get him. And he might go to jail.
I mean, unlikely, but could.
I don't know. Is it unlikely?
I think so. But I mean, I'm not like backing it up with evidence. I just feel that it's unlikely.
Yeah.
So I don't actually know.
Yeah.
I do want to offer like a word of caution though to people, even people who are on like my side. Like even though like, listen, it's fun when your team wins. I like wearing the hat because it upsets people and that's a little fun for me. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like you should be like worshiping any of these politicians like gods, which the Trump camp is a little, because they're like, Trump is Jesus. Like, I felt like there was like this, he is our savior. There was a lot of similar language with like, God is on his side, God save. I get that. I'm very wary. Even if I agree with him and most of his policies or things he's going to do or whatnot, I don't like worshiping anybody because everyone is human. And just keep that in mind that he works for you. Always keep that in mind that like these people, and sometimes you forget because they're like your boss, but you voted for that boss and you can take that boss out, next election cycle or whatnot. So just be reminded that they work for you. Don't worship these guys. They're human. They make mistakes. Do I like everything about Trump? No. Do I think he's kind of a scumbag? Yeah. Do I think he's probably done some dirty stuff? Oh yeah. But you know what? At the end of the day, you're kind of given two options. And to me, this was the clear, definitive option for a better future for the United States of America.
Well, I think a lot of people, felt the same way.
Sure.
I don't remember the last time the Republican has won the popular vote. That's
Been
always
1988, maybe
yeah. It's a long time.
No, maybe 80. Reagan, I think, won the popular vote.
All right. It's been a while.
Sure has.
It's been a while.
It's been
And that's why I think that
45, 44 years.
Yeah.
Wow, you're old.
I know. Yeah. So we think he's gonna take office on January 20th.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing will happen. Everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
He's got the House. He's got the Senate.
He's got God on his side.
He's got God on his side.
I think it's gonna be fine. But I feel like people are gonna make it not fine. if that makes sense. Like people will,
but they can't impeach him this time. Like they don't have.
They can't.
Well, I mean, I guess they could if the Republican Congress.
Yeah, I mean that probably won't.
It, but I don't think that's gonna happen unless maybe they got some underground deal or something, where they were like, "Listen, we know this looks bad, so we'll take the election, but you got to get rid of this guy." Maybe JD Vance is in there, like, "All right,
he's a CIA.
We'll take out.
I think it's more likely that he'll get assassinated than he'll get impeached.
Yeah, it doesn't really sound like. I mean, there's an election every 2 years, so he's at least got 2 years. Well, I think
you mean in Congress? Yeah. 2 years.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I
don't know. I hope the people that are upset are okay. I know that there are many people online that are very concerned.
Yeah, if you're having problems, don't call us.
We were gonna call. We thought it might be funny to call the line,
the hotline for
people having a mental, but probably let's not clog it up. I don't even want to do that.
Yeah,
I really do feel empathy.
How many people are prank calling them? There must be so many.
Oh my god,
there must be so many. They must be just flooded with calls from people like a-holes like us.
Oh my god,
we're like
brutal.
So I'm excited for America's future. I feel like America is back. I spoke to my father's friend who lives in Tel Aviv, and he is elated, very excited about the choice because, it's funny because a lot of countries were paying attention to our election because that's going to influence their foreign policy and their efforts or non-efforts. So I feel that, and again, I don't know, but I'm getting the hunch that people are going to start behaving a little better now that America is back.
Well, it sounds like talks
Daddy's
already
home.
I heard Zelensky's into chat. Putin's in the chat. So hopefully they can end that stupid conflict, get that over with, get the Israel thing figured out too. That would be great. And
I got some ideas
I
that I don't want to share.
I bet you do.
Well, I guess I can share them now.
Yeah. Well, let's say goodbye to podcast listeners and to Radio St. Pete. Radio St. Pete, I'm sorry. I picked Kamala, just so you know. Anna is the.
That's not what you told me.
That's what I picked. I did it on the last podcast.
You mean that's not who you voted for?
I voted for Joe Biden. I'm not letting him go. Okay. Goodbye, podcast listeners. Goodbye, Radio St. Pete freeloaders. You can join us on Wednesday on YouTube and Rumble for free. You get the extra bonus portion, uncensored, uncut. And you can always get the audio only edition on Substack. It's a good way to support the show. It's super cheap. As cheap as I can make it anyways. hmbradio.substack.com. And we'll see you next week. Radio St. Pete, I'm sorry. I just wanted to apologize to him one more time. And we're back.
I don't know if Bubba Twitcher is really the source we want to use, but that's what I said.
5 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, all right. Who knows? Anyways.
Sure.
I feel like we can speak a bit more freely.
Yeah.
Here, which is nice.
Yeah.
I got nothing. I was gonna say something outrageous. I'm like, better not.
Yeah. Well, the other big news, I guess we could talk about this as well, is that no weed in Florida. No legal recreational weed. Yeah. I guess we're keeping the medical, right?
Yeah, medical is. I feel like medical is almost like everywhere, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But recreational, sorry, it needed to reach a
60% super majority. Yeah, I got 55.8, which I don't really know when the 60% threshold came by the super majority there.
Yeah. I don't care. I just
so over. In fact, I got an email about from somebody who listened to the show because we were talking. I'm just so sick of weed. I'm sick of abortion. Like, I don't want to deal with it anymore. It's low on my priority list, I guess.
Same,
I know it's very high on some people's list.
No, and I respect that.
Nice. And I respect that. But I'm just so weed was more fun when it was legal. I think you said that. Right?
I said that. Yeah, they really zapped the fun when they tried to like legalize it and call it medicine, because I wanted it to be a drug. I wanted it to be a controlled substance. I wanted it to be poison, because that made me feel like such a badass when I was a kid.
It's more fun.
I remember being 17, smoking weed with like these boys from high school, and we would watch Reefer Madness from like the 1940s or whatever, and just laugh because we were like high and being, horrible druggies, and it just made me feel so cool and badass. And now it's just like, it's medicine. You can go to the store and buy it. It's regulated. It's annoying and it's not fun, and that's why I voted no.
I kind of want to get a card though.
The green card.
Yeah. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, they're super easy to get, as you probably know.
Yeah, my partner, somebody's making fun of me because I say that.
That's me, by the way.
Yeah, Anna also makes fun of me for saying that. But she has one, and she had one guy who was like, "Were you sexually assaulted?" And like winking at her, like, "Do you need weed?
Do you want me to sexually assault you so that you can get weed
for PTSD? Maybe." Wink, wink. And then I go, "Wait a minute, is that number?" Are people going, "Yep"? And then is that number being reported somewhere? Like, why did all these assaults happen? Look at how many people need marijuana because they were assaulted sexually.
I've never gotten my green card. I didn't know that was those are the questions they asked. I thought it was more for like, do you have trouble sleeping? Do you have anxiety?
Yeah. Well, I think
not like, did someone try to penetrate your asshole when you were a kid? You're like, oh.
Did you go to Diddy's house, maybe?
I don't remember. Yeah. I cannot recall.
I cannot remember. Yeah. So I thought that was weird. But yeah, you can just kind of make it up. And like, wasn't that good enough?
I don't know, because it's like there's a $200 barrier. Just get it at the black market. It's cheaper that way. What's wrong with you?
How many people did they put out of business when they got the medical thing, when they started getting businesses involved?
Oh,
and it was just like people who were just growing it themselves, selling it, had a nice little side hustle coming in. You're not, drawing an empire out of it. I guess some people are.
Well, listen,
cartels on them.
Yeah, but listen, you'll make money if you can sell it less for this than a place that sells it for more. So like even if it becomes medically legal or recreationally legal, if you're undercutting their cost, you'll be in business.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, like now people who have their card just go to a dispensary. They're not buying it.
A lot of people, because it's just like easier and it's probably better quality. But a lot of people, not me, but people I know are just like, I don't want to spend that kind of money on weed. Like, I'd rather just buy it from my guy. I've had a guy for 10 years.
Yeah. And, there probably is quite a few people that still do that. But I wonder how many of those people. I used to buy it from my friend's mom.
That's badass.
She was like the original Weeds, that show Weeds. I don't know where she got it from, but that's where we used to buy it.
Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer.
It was great. So easy.
Yeah.
Convenient.
Well, it didn't pass. And then also the other big one that didn't pass that people were very upset about was Amendment 4.
Yeah.
Which is, I want to kill my baby a little later. That's the amendment. And I said yes.
You did?
I did. I'm very, which is weird because I know it's such a contentious issue, but I'm like wildly apathetic in regards to abortion. Like on the list of priorities of things we need to address in this country, it doesn't even make my top 10. I don't care. I don't care. It's not going to affect me because I'm responsible. I mean, maybe it would, but then it's like, all right, if I have to go fund me to get a ride to Illinois to get an abortion, I will. But I don't know. I understand why people are very upset about it and why people are very contested about it. It's not something that I find to be very important.
I kind of agree with you. I'm pretty pro-choice on that stuff, but the messaging now seems to be pro-abortion. I'm not really pro-abortion either.
I'm pro-death.
Okay. I mean,
I am pro-death. Honestly, here's the main issue and the reason why I voted yes, because really, like philosophically, it'd be a no. But the reason why I said yes is kind of for like the gray area stuff. So, there's a lot of situations where you don't really see deformities until like week 18, 19, 20. I mean, to the point where like the fetus isn't viable. Maybe the fetus won't even make it to term. Maybe risk the mother's life. And then what happens is you go to your physician in Florida where it's a 6-week, ban.
Yeah, but aren't there exceptions for things like that?
Hear me out. Yeah. They go, I don't even want to take the chance because in the event that someone says, well, I have a child that lived till 7 with that disorder, then you unnecessarily killed a baby and you're risking my license when I went to fucking med school for 15 years to become an OBGYN and the fellowship and the residency and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on my degree. I don't even want to take the chance to do something on you because I don't want to, because then that puts my business, my livelihood, my family at stake for one patient. I would never touch them. I go, ask someone else to do it or go to a different state because I don't even want to take the chance because the laws are kind of unclear.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of physicians don't want to, touch women that are past those 6 weeks. And then you just run into a lot of issues and that's unfortunate. So that's why I voted yes. But, I mean, am I a big fan of like killing fetuses? Like, no, I think it's probably wrong, but also like, I don't fucking care.
I just, the arguments are they don't seem to understand. They're just like, it's a right. First of all, I'm sorry. It's not a right. It's nowhere in the Constitution. I understand that they want to put it there, which you go, okay, well, if you can make that happen, then okay. If it's done through the process, but it's not a human. See, here's the thing. Here's the loopholes that they go through. They just name something they want and then call it a human right. And then when you go, no, we're not going to do that. Slick. Then they go, you're a fascist because you're not allowing, you're oppressing me. You're not allowing a human right. And you're going, no, I dispute the fact that it's a right. And I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm pretty pro-choice with this stuff, not pro-abortion, but pretty pro-choice anyways.
It is not a right, but it is a privilege to kill that fetus. Okay.
I mean, kind of. Yeah, kind of. I mean, certainly, but it's just like objectively not a right.
It's not.
You don't have a right.
Life.
You don't have a right to healthcare. But the thing about it is a lot of those people who want that would also happily take away ban guns or ban speech, which are in the constitutions and are objectively rights.
But what was even more ironic and beautiful about the whole, like, my body, my choice is those people wanted to ban vaccines.
Well, that too.
Or you're like, well, I thought it was my body, my choice. They go, not with this. And you go, oh, okay.
Well, because the loophole of that is that you're putting me at risk if you are not taking it. Because they spun it as if you can't transmit it.
Right. Which would be bad if you got someone else sick, but if you killed a life in progress, totally fine.
Yeah. And that's the debate. It's like, where does that, when does it become life? At what point? And, some people are now arguing not until it, I guess, comes out of the vagina, and that's not a life until it's born.
Most people say until it's viable, but
that's like 6 weeks. Back.
No, it's not viable.
You get a heartbeat at 6 weeks.
No. I said viable outside the womb.
Oh, viable outside the womb.
Yeah. So it's like usually about 20,
but I think
22
it's
weeks.
Pretty, like there have been people who are like walking around and are human beings that have been like really early.
Yeah, like 22.
Like super early.
No. It's not 9 weeks. Well, I promise you. It's probably earliest is, I want to say 20 weeks, which is insane because that's literally half baked. 40 is full term. I don't think you can. I think the earliest is 20. It keeps getting earlier and earlier as technology and medicine gets better and better.
Yes, bro. That's another thing you kind of run into there. So if it's viable earlier, I don't know. You can
have like a makeshift womb at 9 weeks that could, nurture and feed the child. Then
listen. Also, it like I keep hearing this one too, which makes me roll my eyes. If you're a man, you can't have an opinion on it. First of all, yes, I can. And second of all, something like 46% of women are pro-life. So, I mean, I don't even know if it would be the super majority that would require it if only women voted in Florida.
Listen,
you might still not get it.
I promise you, most men want you to get rid of it. They are pro-choice. There is no one more pro-choice than the guy who fucks. Okay, fucks around. He wants you to get rid of it. He's so pro-choice, ladies. So don't think that men are trying to take away your rights. Most men are happy. Get rid of it. I say that in jest, of course, but I hear that a lot. Like, you can't have an opinion on this because you're a man. It's like, right, but that's also my baby as well, number one. And number two, I'm also a person with a brain that works. And we're talking about civil rights, or when does life begin, and a man can't interject in that conversation.
That's just
it makes no sense.
That's R-worded.
Yeah,
that's just a bad argument, but I hear it constantly. That's like, but I think it's it comes from emotions. Most of these arguments do.
What's true is that baby is genetically just as much yours as it is hers. She happens to be housing it,
but that's the other argument, right? But
it is genetically just as much as it is yours, or
because
it
grew out of there. The jizz and the egg came together.
Fertilized,
and then it attached to the lady inside.
Yeah, in the uterus. Got it.
And then it grows.
From the period blood.
Yes. And the bears can smell the menstruation.
Yes.
But
yum.
But it's like a whole I kind of follow the Louis C.K. Louis C.K. said, yeah, okay, so it might not be, a baby at 6 weeks or whatever, but wait another week. And it might be.
Did he say that?
Yeah, something to the, maybe not those exact words, but something along those lines.
Bill Burr had a great bit about it, where he's just like talking about a cake. It's like, if I was baking a cake, he just came in and like ripped it out of the oven and like threw it against the wall and like, hey, you fucked up my cake. And they're like, that's not a cake. And you're like, well, it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Until you fucked it up.
Yeah, just give it a little bit and it will be.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Listen, it's one of those things where, for me, and maybe for you, I'll speak for myself, it's fun to like debate and theorize and talk about, but
I hate
honestly, I don't care. Like, if you were like had a gun to my head, Anna, do you think it's right or wrong? I go, it's probably wrong.
Mm-hmm.
When do you think life begins on it? Probably at fertilization. If you're pointing a gun to my head, probably fertilization. If you leave it alone, it'd turn into a human.
Mm-hmm.
But do you really care? No. Like, I really fucking don't care.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to kill it after it's born, I don't care.
I think you at least understand where the argument is. I feel like it's just very emotional. It's a human right, which is it's not. Sorry,
it's a human right for the fetus to live.
It's women can choose things.
Yeah,
they're allowed to choose.
The left has made it a women's rights issue, and the right is saying that it is a universal people issue.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
So nobody understands each other with that, or they don't want to. They just have very emotional arguments. I don't know. The messaging, like I said, it's just gotten so like pro death. I'm just like, what is?
It's like
I'm
they
not
want to
particularly
have them.
religious either. Like I said, I'm pretty open minded to this stuff, but I'm like, this is a little too much. Like, just it was fine before, safe, legal, and rare. Obviously, it's not going anywhere. Much like guns, like if you were to ban guns, they're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah,
They'll be
yeah.
back. And yeah, it's now there's probably going to be back alley kind of procedures being done. And
Cider
that's
House
bad too.
Rules.
That's bad too.
Did you ever watch Cider House Rules?
Hell no.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you ban abortion. It's not good.
Yeah.
But
So
also, like,
but yeah, just shut the fuck
close your
up.
fucking legs, you whores.
And it is kind of like you got to be careful saying that, but I feel like you're a lady, so it's kind of like you're cross to bear a little bit.
You sound so scared saying that to me.
I feel
because
scared
I'm about to fucking talk.
It's a terrible thing to say, but it's also might be true, right? I mean, like there are consequences to that act, and unfortunately, I don't have very many consequences other than potentially being financially responsible. But the lady runs the risk of carrying it. She could potentially die for like this is.
Listen, everybody's got like shit that they have to deal with. There's stuff that I have to deal with as a woman that he doesn't, and there's stuff that he has to deal with as a man that I fucking don't. The societal pressure of like men to make money and provide, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that shit. I'm so glad that in centuries, well, not even centuries before, but decades or even just a few years ago, when people go to the front lines to die, it's usually fucking men, because no one wants my fucking 5'3", 120-pound ass on the front lines where the gun is bigger than me. You know what I mean? No one wants me on the front lines. No one is expecting me to do that. And I have a lot of respect for men. And boy, did I have so much more respect for men during hurricane season. Just seeing the men out there fucking nailing the wood on the walls and getting the generators ready. Listen, I know ladies can do it too, but they fucking weren't. I didn't see any ladies doing that shit. The guy was getting the generator ready, getting all the gasoline, doing all the things, doing that. And I'm just like, first off, very impressed on how they know how to do all that shit. And secondly, just so glad that that is not an expectation for me at all. If something is broken, I just look at my man and I just go, can you
do this?
Can you? I don't say like, I don't demand it. I go, can you please do this? You're the man, fucking make it work again.
Yeah.
He goes, no problem. So
there's a good feeling when I fixed my toilet the other day. It was
God, congratulations.
Fucking stoked, man. I was so happy with myself.
Let me guess, did you celebrate with some bourbon?
I did. Yes, I did.
Of course.
But I almost got defeated by this stupid toilet. And it was just one of those things where I don't know if you know the inside workings of a toilet.
With the chain and
you flush it, and what happened is the portion, the little flapper that closes off, it just disintegrated. It was old.
Oh, okay.
So it just wasn't. So the toilet was just running, and I had to shut it off. And I went and got a flapper, and I put it on, and there was the tiniest leak. You could just somewhere it wasn't getting the proper suction on there.
Your water bill too.
Yeah. So I'm like, motherfucker. So of course my partner
Stop saying that.
goes, yeah, there's a little bit of a leak in there still. I go, all right, just let it settle. I think what it needs to happen is it just needs to settle. I don't think that's the case, but I just needed to buy some time here to figure out what to do. So I messed with it, kept messing with it. Finally, I go, okay, I just got to go get another flapper. This one doesn't work. I have to go get another flapper. I went and bought a flapper with a seal, like a really heavy duty one. And it had a piece that you stuck on there. And I'm like, this has got to work. And then I got home. And when I looked in the toilet, the leak had stopped. It worked itself out on its own. It settled.
Yeah.
What happened was it settled.
Yeah.
So basically I was right.
Yeah.
And boy, was that a good feeling.
So but now you just have an extra flapper because it's going to.
No, I took it back.
Oh,
I took it back to Lowe's.
How much was it? Like $6?
Yeah, like $10.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I got my money back, and I was very happy that I didn't have to mess with the fucking toilet anymore. It was like annoying. Like you watch it, and you got to take off the tank lid and jiggle things around so you can get it to finally just settled. Yeah, like I said, it would do. So that was a really good feeling. Yeah. But I feel like, so I know what abortion's like after fixing that toilet. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, I'm trying to draw this comparison. I'm like, whoa, how did we get there? That's crazy.
But like you're saying, there are things that I have to do. And I'm not comparing the two, fixing the toilet and, carrying a child. But biologically, blame God or blame nature, whatever you want to do. Sorry, but it's kind of your deal. Oh, you can get a vasectomy. That's what you hear. Vasectomies will stop abortion. Yes, that's true. Or you could get your tubes tied too. That would also prevent.
Fucking bitch. Let me tell you something. And this is probably going to be a shock, a rude awakening to a lot of people because they probably don't know this, but life isn't fair. Life isn't fair. There are some things I have to deal with that men don't. And there's some things, lots of things men have to deal with that I don't. Thank God. You know what I mean? And instead of just trying to fight it and be mad about it, just accept it and go, yeah, I got to be more careful. That has always been the case since the dawn of time, since the dawn of whatever mammals, or not even mammals, goes back, before that, where, unless you're a seahorse or something, but women had to be more selective about their partners. And I know you've probably heard this too, but what really changed that in the 60s, or maybe it was the 50s, I think it was the 60s, was the birth control pill. Kind of completely changed everything because women could you could still like get AIDS and shit. Well, maybe not then, but you still get diseases and stuff. But as far as children go, you had a lot more control over your reproduction. So that kind of changed, and that led to the sexual liberation of women, which is that a bad thing? It's like, it's more of a trade-off thing. Like, yeah, it's great that women don't feel, bad about fucking a bunch of dudes, but then also you have to understand that it's probably not the best thing for your psychology to fuck a bunch of dudes. I've never really met a woman who's like, yeah, I'm a fucking whore and I feel great about it. And if they say that, a few years later, they usually crash, burn, and find Jesus. Is what the trend I usually see, because they like the attention that they're getting from men. But usually as they start to age out, maybe 29, 30, 31, all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, I want to find like a good man. And it's hard to do that when you just fuck them on the first date, because then they don't take you seriously.
God bless those of you that do that.
Yeah. God bless the whores. And if that makes you happy and that fulfills you, literally and metaphorically, then thank you. God bless you.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who need you. So they don't, shoot up a school or something.
I was thrilled to be alive and be in my 20s during, apps when Tinders and all. It's a good time. It was a great fucking time.
Yeah.
But, now.
Yeah, I never really took advantage of that because I had a father that loved me. And I don't know. It's like such a personal thing. And it's like, I don't know you. And like, do you really like me? Do you love me? And obviously the answer is no. So I don't want to do that. And I think that is a good lesson to teach women to kind of protect themselves. And it's okay to be very selective about who you let in, literally. So and for many reasons, psychologically, because we get attached to men that we have sex with, but more so you don't fall pregnant with a man that you just met the night before.
Yeah. And, yes, a vasectomy could prevent that as well. So it could tying your tubes or using birth control, using contraception. Contraception is not 100%, or the Catholic method of up the poop chute. There are a lot of ways. It's just not a very logical arguments out there for that. Truly just the most emotional one, and the one that seemed to matter the most to the people crying online today. That was their biggest thing. I don't even know. It seems like everybody's kind of like, yeah, Trump, fuck him. But you know what? I'm really upset about the abortion thing, is what I've been seeing online from my friends.
Which is funny because it's like, you shouldn't really blame Trump. It's more so like, well, the Supreme Court.
We don't even know how he voted. He might have voted. He voted in Florida, by the way. It would not answer.
But they're not talking about his personal vote. They were talking about the overturning of Roe versus Wade because he installed the 3 Supreme Court justices.
Yes.
So they blamed him.
Left it back up to the states. Yes, I get it.
Which if you don't like the way that your state handles something, then move. And if you can't move, then too fucking bad and shut up. I don't know what to tell you. People are just like, but I want this and this and this and this. It's like, bitch, you don't always get what you want. Yeah. That's what we need to tell people, especially the ladies.
That's why democracy sucks.
Always get what you want. I would have liked it if the abortion thing passed. It didn't. I go, you know what? It is what it is. I got my president. I'm happy. I walk away. You know what I mean?
I didn't get anything this time. I mean, it couldn't have gone any worse.
For you?
For them. The people were upset.
Oh, yes.
I mean, literally, it could not have gone anywhere.
They got a transgender in there in the Senate or something. I saw a few people like trying to like celebrate that, but
okay,
whatever.
Well, that's good.
We'll give them their wins. That's fine. That's fine. So, and why are the transgenders afraid? Well, all of a sudden, people are like, if you're queer, like, is he sending the gays to the gas chamber?
Yeah, I mean,
what the fuck is going on?
It's so irrational and so silly. I'm empathetic to that because I'm like, do you really feel that way? You must be scared. But it's not going to happen. Nobody would let that happen. Everybody has like a gay person in their life that is their friends. Very few. I guess there's maybe some people out there who don't like homos, but who? I mean, like everybody knows somebody in these. Everybody has a black friend. Like, what are you talking about? Nobody is going to let them take your friends and family away, and it's not going to happen. It's so.
I'm curious about what they're actually fearful of. Like, what do you? They're like, if you're a gay person or transgender, so many gay people voted for Trump. What are you talking about?
Something like 20%.
I don't.
1 in 5 I saw
met like gay dudes.
It must be straight, just normal gay dudes. Yeah,
straight gay dudes. Yeah. JD Vance was talking about normal gay guys.
More normal.
The normal gay guys who are just like the Tim Dillon types, who are just like, listen, I'm gay. I don't need a cosign with everything of the LGBTQ plus whatever IA agenda.
In fact, they're a little annoying. Yeah. It's just.
Did you see Caitlyn Jenner trolling Mark Cuban? She's like, I think you're transgender. He's calling him Mary.
Look like Rachel Maddow.
Yeah, that's what Elon was saying. It was really funny.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Caitlyn Jenner is awesome.
Yeah. Oh, there's one. Kevin said that his brother and husband voted for Trump. I guess they're gay.
Yes, brother and his husband. He said.
Are they normal gays, Kevin? Just normal gay guys? Like not?
I'm
assuming probably so. But
yeah.
I don't. Yeah, Mike from St. Pete. This one too. First administration appointed the first gay cabinet. Yeah. His kids are Jew. I mean, like all his kids are married to Jews.
All of them?
I think so.
Ivanka did.
Ivanka and maybe it's just Ivanka.
Tiffany?
I don't know. Tiffany, nobody cares about Tiffany.
Yeah. It's funny. She's kind of ugly and her mom was so hot.
Yeah.
Her mom was, I think, like hotter than Melania. Marla
Maples.
Maples, yeah.
Very
I gotta attractive woman.
I don't even know. Nobody cares about Tiffany Trump. I totally forget what she looks like.
She kind of has like a dumb look on her face. She has like long eyes.
Whoa. What's going on here?
Oh no, it's like AI. It's
no, I don't want AI. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Leo AI.
She's like an uglier version of her mother, but Marla Maples, so attractive.
Okay, let's look. Tiffany Trump's married to a guy named Michael Boulos.
Oh, maybe he's like Greek or something.
And let's check her out. Oh yeah, she kind of looks like she's got like a
Downs.
A little bit, yeah.
Quarter.
I guess I should show the picture.
Yeah. It's funny. He does reference his 3 older children and Barron, and Tiffany is completely overlooked.
Yeah. So this is
you know what I mean? But pull up
yeah.
Marla.
That's unfortunate.
Like when she was young. Even now she looks great.
Oh wait, can they see it? Yeah, they can see it. All right, let's look up Marla Maples.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Marla Maples.
Yeah.
American actress and TV personality.
Like when she was young. She's like 60.
Yeah. That's all right. Still would, even then.
Yeah, like stunning.
Let's see. Marla Maples. Can I just get a picture?
Oh, dear
God.
Just like maybe, yeah. Oh, there you go. Right there. I mean, she was beautiful.
How do I just get the picture?
I don't know.
Do I click this? God, I am a boomer.
That's okay.
Yeah, you get the idea. Okay, she's all right. She all right.
Look, that's a strong jaw. She looks great.
Yeah. Well, I guess we should wrap this up. I think we've offended just about everybody. I am kind of nervous about putting that show on Radio St. Pete. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't worry about it.
Because I saw that Radio St. Pete was their election coverage. They were like going to do some local. I think Joe was doing some local, election results, and then they went to Democracy Now!
I'll just deny it.
With Amy Goodman, who I used to be an avid listener of and still have a lot of respect for. I think I actually went and saw her when she was here at USF or something. But very, very left.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way. But everything's gonna be fine. I hope that yes, the meme is eggs will be cheaper. Yeah, I hope so. That would be pretty awesome. Be nice if groceries are cheaper, power was cheaper, gas was cheaper.
Homes are a big
I
one.
would like to buy a home. So that would be very good.
Yeah.
And for everybody upset, if anybody's up, I don't think anybody's listening to this show anymore. I have a feeling they probably tuned out immediately when they saw your hat. But everything's okay. Thank you to Mike. Thank you, Garrett, and thank you, Pillow, for the donations. I very much appreciate that, guys.
Thank you guys so much.
hmbradio.substack.com. I will put this on the audio only. Full thing will be available in moments, 20 minutes. I'll have it up there, and you'll get it extra early. Otherwise, you got to wait till Sunday for the stupid free podcast. That sucks. You don't want to do that.
Thank you, guys. Happy Election Day. God bless America.
God bless America, and God bless you. God bless everyone.